Welcome to part 2 of getting sick on the plane. If you haven't seen part 1 yet, I should have hopefully put it in the description of the video. You should go watch it. Part 1 covers the sickness I felt on the plane going to Singapore/Philippines, and part 2 covers the plane ride coming back. And if you've already seen that video, then let's skip the recap and head straight back in the story. So yes, I was sick on a 10-hour plane ride again. But allow me to supply some more context. The plane to go back was scheduled at 2 AM, so the responsible thing to do would go to sleep early, right? Yes, it was. And I did. Is why I would say my body will let me sleep. I tried all kinds of methods to fall asleep. I watched videos until the melatonin made me tired. I closed my eyes, I pretended to fall asleep. I started counting sheep, but my mind wouldn't turn off. It was so buzzing with activity, constantly thinking. It was like my brain put on a really interesting, dramatic show right before I went to bed. And every time my body was like, okay buddy, time to head to bed, my brain would immediately jump out of his brainy little couch and beg, no please, just one more episode. And I would unfortunately yield. In the end, I managed to get a total of 1, maybe 2 hours of sleep. Good news though, I managed to get a proper meal this time. But I was once again stressed because, hey buddy. No. At first, I was feeling just a little bit nauseous upon sitting on the plane, most likely due to lack of sleep, and I did try to catch some extra rest in the airport terminal as we were waiting for the plane to arrive, but that didn't really work. At first, the sick feeling wasn't really strong, so I tried to distract myself with checking what movie options the plane had. I saw movies like The Lego Batman, How to Train Your Dragon, Wicked Part 1, but as we lifted for takeoff, my body was like, yeah, no buddy, you need to sit back and sleep or else I'm cranking up the nausea. And cranked up the nausea it did because it went from 0 to 100 real quick. And I remember that as I was staring at the plane screen, I physically paused and told myself, oh, okay, this is happening now. And absolutely knocked out while trying my hardest not to throw up. Granted, it did take around 45 minutes of trying to fall asleep before I actually accomplished it, but at least I fell asleep. My body must have been so proud of me. So dear body, that means that once I wake up, I'll feel a little better, right? Right. Hello. Would you like chicken or beef? Oh, is she alright? Oh yeah, she's fine. Just a little bit sick. She'll take the chicken, please. Oh dear. Well, I can give her some extra water. I hope she feels better soon. Oh, thank you. Man, I love Singapore Airlines. The staff is so accommodating, especially the kind lady who gave me the water. It was so considerate and I really appreciated it, even though my body was too busy glitching out for me to say anything to her at the time. And the food hits hard, let me make that clear. And that ranged true for the dish they served me at the time. They had this absolutely adorable looking mini cake I have personally ever seen. And if I wasn't feeling like a sick little volcano about to erupt, I would have eaten that mini cake in one single bite. But alas, I knew what my body was trying to tell me, and if I started eating my meal, then my guts would have been on the floor. So with 2 small bites of the cake, I reluctantly accepted my fate and gave the rest of my meal to my family as I groveled in my seat. I can't finish it, I'm gonna throw up. I'm gonna be so transparent with you. I got so emotional over not being able to eat that cake, let alone that entire meal, because it looked so good and it smelled so good, and that cake, especially the cake, it tasted so good. But I threw in the towel and went back to sleep in hopes of feeling better once I wake up. Okay, this is turning into some kind of cartoon. I experienced such a chaotic amount of turbulence halfway through the flight, and it felt terrible. Every time the plane committed a big rocky movement, my body was like, ah, and I was like, ah. But mentally, I already get motion sickness from cars. I never thought I would get motion sickness from a plane too. But there I was, getting sick from motion. So this turbulence went on for about 15 or 20 minutes, maybe even long, I don't know. Time blends together when you've been sitting on the plane for hours at that point. But again, whilst trying to ignore the sickness I was feeling, I managed to fall asleep. And then I woke up. I checked the time on the plane monitor, and we had just under 3 hours left on the flight. I spent approximately 7 hours of this flight knocked out, and I finally felt normal again. No underlying nausea, no motion sickness. It was like a breath of fresh air. My emotions at the plane when I realized this was like that one Cynthia review. What? You know. And now we're gonna go full circle because I had been planning to watch Wicked Part 1 that entire flight. Every time I was conscious, my mind immediately spoke in tandem. I'm gonna watch Wicked. I'm gonna watch Wicked. And now with my sickness in check, with exactly 2 hours and 47 minutes left of flight, I knew it was time. I turned on the monitor, I went to the movie section, gathered my plain breakfast, which was also incredibly tasty by the way, and the first proper meal I had in those 7 hours. And watched Wicked, and at that point, it felt like a reward. And then I landed back in the UK. Okay, yeah. Okay, that's it. Bye.